I have a problem with sometimes with people coming into the program and like we'll tell them to do something, they just don't believe it's going to work, because we don't do things, as you guys know, the same way that every other studio on the planet does it. And we think that's an important principle, because if you do what everybody else does, I guarantee you're going to get the same results that they get. The mass upgrade event that you guys did, this is an important thing. Like it's during the summertime right now as we're recording this. It's on kind of like COVID. There's a lot of studios that are still shut down. You guys are under limitations on how many people you can even have in class and that kind of stuff. So it's not like you're in any kind of an ideal situation right now at your studio anyway, right?
No, we're navigating it the best that we can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the number of students. So you in the past have allowed students, fundamental students, beginner students, to enroll in kind of one-time-a-week classes and that kind of stuff. And in this little week-long presentation that you just did in everybody's class, what would you say, what percentage of your students did you get upgraded into either multiple classes, additional classes, or more expensive, higher level programs?
I would say, okay, probably like 80%, 85%. I'm trying to think of like, of course, our like preschoolers, our 3 to 4 year olds, we didn't enroll in 2 classes because that would just be too much for them. But everyone 5 and up, we suggested taking 2 classes. And I would say that I can only think of like less than 10 people who didn't take 2 classes.
Yeah, parents were very receptive to it.
Like these are current students that you've kind of taught that they should only come in and do 1 time a week, and we convinced them. These aren't new students that you're enrolling in 2 times.
No.
These are like older students that you're now moving into. And normally when we're doing this, I know you guys have heard us teach this before, we're doing it in an event that only takes 1 day. We're shooting to get about what you guys did, 80% of all of the students upgraded into a higher level program in 1 day. Because of some of the restrictions you guys are still under during COVID, it was a better idea to do it in the individual classes throughout the week. But how long did you spend, like how many days did it take you to do 80 or 85% of your students upgraded?
4.
We did, to keep social distancing, we did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 4 to 7, and we asked them to come in during the time of their class. The only thing we found that was problem with that was by the time the people from Thursday came in, that some of their classes that they might have registered were closed.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
so
yeah,
real scarcity going, and they couldn't. Yeah,
But we still do. It's,
yeah. So we were thinking next year, maybe instead of doing it by class, maybe doing it by age.
Interesting.
Instead, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, this is what I say all the time, right? Is that we love to cause you guys new problems.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we also had another problem because we opened our intro to register for intro, and we had 5 kids in an intro program, and kids registered and closed it.
So Mongo is his intro program.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So our intro program is you can take up to 2 weeks of classes to try and
Like 4 classes.
4 classes in 2 weeks.
Paid intro program, right?
Yeah, and so we had like 5 people who were interested in trying this one class on their first week, but then it ended up being too full to have them even come in. Yeah, so we had to put them in.
So we had to call them back and switch them.
Yeah, I love how disappointed, Lynn, you are that you like have enough room for everybody. This is awesome. This is exactly the kind of problem that we want to cause you guys. And you know, the lesson, once again, another lesson here, and I don't know, I should probably save this to slam you guys with at one of the live events or something, but this is a pretty clear indication that you guys have once again undervalued your program. Do you understand that? That like, if the problem is that there's not enough room to fit all of the students, and you're doing this under the conditions that you're doing this right now, like that, I don't care what everybody else in town is charging. You guys obviously have something that your clientele value and is willing.
Yeah, and I mean, most of the people who went from 1 class a week to 2 classes a week, normally they like doubled their payment per month, right. And there wasn't very many people who that was a concern for. They were like, oh, okay, because they saw the more opportunities of taking 2 classes.
If you do
that recital, and you get.
You know, it's possible to screw anything up, but if you do it the right way, it's just simply gonna going to work. And this is kind of for the benefit of the people watching this recording later, but you know, one of the things that we really drive home, you guys already kind of know this, is that it's not just about your active student count. Everybody brags about that. It's a vanity metric. I don't care how many active students you have. I care what your average student value is. You guys doubled the average student value almost on your student base in less than a week on 5% of the students that you guys did. You know, to hit whatever financial goals you have to work with half as many students now. Imagine if we can double that now. And I mean, it's just really good. So the other thing that I kind of wanted to hear you say is just that what was, when we told you what we wanted you guys to do, and we told you about, hey, let's get all of these, you know, lower level guys into paying twice as much in a day. Where were you at? What was your belief system? That kind of thing. Can you share that?
We were scared.
We were really scared. We were focusing way too much on the reasons why people couldn't do it rather than the reasons as to like why it would be beneficial for them, which is what we turned around and used on the parents. And then we were like, and also something that really helped us is the like verbiage that you had suggested to use rather, well, I guess you had talked about it and then we kind of translated it in our own way. So instead of referring to like classes, we refer to them as like this young artist program gets to take 2 styles instead of 2 classes. And then like that was a really big part of it. And then to get our teachers on board, we were talking more about like, well, it's not wrong for them to take 2 classes. It's better for them to take 2 classes. And so we were really scared about the objections of people. But then when we started focusing more on like why it was better for our studio and our students, then it was less scary. And then as soon as we had like the first few have no objections, we felt a lot better. But it was very scary and we weren't really, it took us, I think, all year because we started with you last April. And no, we started working with you in April. Right. And so literally over a year ago, and then it took us until about March, so a year after we started working with you to even consider the idea.
Imagine if we had done it a year ago. It's possible to do what you guys did incorrectly, right? It's possible to this up. It's not that it's,
I hope we didn't do it incorrectly. I hope we didn't do it incorrectly.
No. See, this is, well, yeah, no. If we can get, this is what we're shooting for at these mass upgrade events that we teach. We want to do 80 to 85, exactly what you guys did. A percentage of the students upgraded. Normally, it's going to be in a day. Like we're going to do it in an event, and we're just going to knock it out in one day.
I don't think I could ever do it in a day. It was so much.
No, and it might take us another year to convince you of that. I don't know, but no, but you absolutely can. And then we follow up with the stragglers for the next week. We want to get another 10% of those students over the kind of next week. Those that didn't show up, that weren't ready to upgrade and that kind of stuff. There's the little follow-up system that you want to be doing in that. But no, absolutely, that's absolutely what we're shooting for. You guys hit that target exactly what we want to. And everybody who follows that same system that we laid out, that you guys are following there, that's generally what we're seeing everywhere. And once again, I want to drive this home. It's not because you guys didn't the work and it just magically works. You did it the right way. Like you guys have been working on this for a long time.
Oh, that was the other thing that we did as well as we switched to the 12-month program, and that's how we started everything with the new student appreciation week. We started like 12-month program with the like 2 classes a week and all, like we just did it all at once. And because COVID made us have our recital in July because we had to postpone it. Everyone is already taking through July, so they were like, "Oh, okay, so just like this year," and we're like, "Yeah." So it's chill.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've never been handed better messaging to help clients make that conversion. I know a lot of them are afraid of that too. They don't think it's going to work. Well, Mago, you don't understand. Everybody in my area travels over the summer. I'm like, but they shut down grocery stores in your city because everybody's on vacation? No, well, let's keep running the program. Anyway, you got to do it the right way, right? You've got to push the buttons in the right order and that kind of thing. But you guys have done it. If you made both of those changes at the same time, I didn't realize you made both those changes at the same time.
Yeah.
You may very well have more than doubled your average student value. We need to pay attention to that. Take a look.
Yeah, that's true because we added 2 months onto the tuition.
You've got people taking multiple classes and paying more tuition. Plus, you also have retaining them for at least 2 months longer.
Yeah, and then we also added in like the milestones and everything like that. Like we did, we ordered all the ribbons. And we're doing 3 ribbons and 1 pin. So at the end of your 2 years, you get a pin and then all this stuff. So we ordered all of those and we kind of like introduced everybody to be like, then your 2 classes, you also get all these things. We put them up on the wall. So we did milestones, the new program with that like upgraded program, and then on the 12-month program and the two, like we just did it all at once, all of it.
And that's the way to do it. That's absolutely the way to do it. Just, I know everything that, all of those little things you just mentioned, everybody's kind of afraid to sort of implement these things and how are people going to expect it. Follow the steps. It's going to work, you know.
Yeah. And a lot of people are excited. They're excited about it. A lot of people were like, some people didn't know that we had other styles, or like that they could take another style. Like they didn't even think about it, or they just didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, oh, she can take jazz too. And we're like, yeah, she can take jazz too. And they were like, wow.
When you go to beginner students and you say, I don't know, what do you want to take? And just offer it to them like that, rather than that doctor frame where you're prescribing what they should be doing. You're going to make half as many enrollments, half the people taking half as many classes. That's a tough way to stay in business, man. It absolutely is. Shifting away from that where you guys are at now is huge. Hey, do me a favor at this next at the next live event, bring all your stuff, bring the ribbons and the pins and that kind of stuff to show everybody.
Yeah, definitely. They're really cute. We really like them.
Yeah, that's super exciting. Super great. That's as a retention tool, helping people to see the long-term vision and that kind of stuff. It's huge. So another thing I just wanted to point out about you guys also, the reason that all of this worked is because you live in a magic city, right?
No.
A magic city? No.
No, we do not live in a magic city.
Tell me, kind of describe the area around you guys and your studio and your city and stuff.
So we live in a very interesting city. It's split between financial classes. I think we have very like low income families, and then we have very high income families. Like this very split, and that is very interesting. And there's a lot of different cultures that are around here. It is a fairly large city, surrounded by a lot of little cities. We have a lot of high schools and stuff like that, but it's big. We're big on sports. Not super big, but sports are really big. Gymnastics is really big. But yeah, it is. I think the biggest thing about Greeley is the income difference between families. It's a very big difference between low and high income, and we get both of the spectrum. We get both ends of the spectrum, but the most important thing for us is just, it is a really good community and everything like that. So, and we want to be welcoming to everybody. But yeah, how would you describe Greeley? To me, it's
very
like,
diverse.
Very diverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is. Yeah, it is. There's some income disparity there. There's some economic hardship in the areas. Not with everybody, of course, but a little bit. There's
everyone knows where we are because we're right across from IHOP, and there's only one IHOP.
You're slightly more rural than many people that we work with, and competitors in the area. You guys have other dance studios. It's not like you're the only
one. Yeah, well, there's lots of dance studios.
Oh yeah, there is. Well, we're the ones that have been here the longest. There's Eva's, the Dance Fusion, we have Conservatory, Nikita, Dance Place. Yeah, we have like 7 studios maybe. And yeah, there's a lot of studios around here.
You made all of these changes, but how long have you been in business as a dance studio and dancewear store?
This is our 48th year. We just started our 48th year.
Did this change, right? And it's
she did. I started my 2nd year.
Yeah, right, but you guys, like, I hope everybody appreciates that. Like, you had some momentum in a very specific direction before this, and you guys were able to make those changes as well.
So, oh yeah.
That's the point I want to make. There's nothing like super special about your city. I mean, of course, it's got
no.
Everybody does.
No.
It's not like you guys are the only show in town, or you have a million millionaires that live within 2 miles of your studio, or something like that. That's the reason that this worked. In other words, right? Super exciting. I mean, you guys, you're still. I mean, I know, Nicole, we already talked about this a little bit today, but your marketing is running. You're getting new people to come in and contact you as well. So it's not just that you guys are taking current students and upgrading them, but you've also got all that other stuff in place and are growing, and you're doing it at a time right now, like the time that we're making this recording right now, has got to be literally the most difficult time ever to be running the type of business that we're
it's a weird time. It's a very weird time.
Congratulations to you guys for doing that and for that success. And
well, like, it's mostly like, thank you for
all your help.
Yeah, thank you for all your help and like and answering our questions and like teaching us how to do these things. Because I always wanted to do like one of my goals was, when I started working here like last year, was to kind of bring up our recreational program, because our competitive program was working really well, but our recreational program is what I think needed a little bit of like TLC. And so like you helped us like mindset change about like those classes, and then like just kind of like we're like, hey, why don't you do this? And it was like, oh, I don't know why. We should do that.
Nobody else does it that way, and we've been doing it the other way for 48 years.
Yeah, we're like, oh, we just never thought of that. So like that was mostly helpful. So thank you so much for like teaching us how to do all this stuff.
You guys are killing it, man. Knowledge doesn't do you good unless you actually put it to work. So you guys are killing it, and I think that's amazing and super exciting. And yeah, I'm looking forward.
It was hard and it was stressful, but we did it.
Thanks. I appreciate you spending just a minute with me. Lynn and Nicole, you guys are doing great. And thanks for sharing a little bit with everybody who's, I'm sure, afraid, especially right now, of what might work and what might not work. But, you know, if anything is working during COVID or not during COVID, increasing your average student value is simply more important than increasing the number of students. If we got to pack 1 million students into your studio to make any kind of progress, that doesn't work during COVID, and it doesn't work not during COVID either. And so what you guys are doing is just pushing stuff in the right direction, and it's great. So thanks. Appreciate you spending some time with us.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.